Welcome to our S&OP Ask the Expert series.
Doug, today's question is, why do you insist that S&OP is a monthly process? Our business changes too quickly. We need to be more agile and able to respond in real time.
Yes, is the concept of S&OP an antiquated concept? I mean, after all, it was originally developed in the 70s, and it really was a time when the computing power that we have on our phone really is greater than most of the computing power that was available to companies to run systems. So is this concept of a monthly planning process even still valid, right? We have things like AI, big data, very complex software packages that are available to us. Why should we really think about S&OP at a monthly basis? And things change so quickly. We need to be able to respond. S&OP is restrictive. It constricts what we're trying to do. So I believe very strongly that S&OP, executive S&OP, is a monthly process. And really there's three reasons around this. The first one is, consider this. It's something I would call the inelasticity of supply. While we can change our plans, we can redo plans instantly, we often, and in many cases, we can't react instantly to that change in the plan. Think about a manufacturer. If you're a manufacturing company, you have lead time for your components. You are making planning decisions around your capacity that can't necessarily change instantly. Think about it. You're buying components from overseas. Those boats are on the water. We redo our plan. That doesn't mean the boat turns around and goes back. We're kind of locked into that plan. So every business has a certain amount of inelasticity of supply. And if we think about real-time S&OP, we're thinking about, oh, I want to change and react to what's happening. Well, sometimes the expression I would use, the die is cast, the plan is in place, and we can't necessarily react to that. Extreme example for you, I happen to be a Scotch lover. Macallan 18-year-old Scotch, takes 18 years for that Scotch to actually be produced. It has to age in the barrels for that time. There's inelasticity for the period of time that that Scotch is in those barrels. If they run out of 18-year-old Scotch, I can't just turn around and give you some other 18-year-old Scotch because maybe it's only 17 years aged. So now I'm stuck drinking the 12-year-old Scotch. So that's an extreme example of inelasticity, but the same thing can apply within your supply chain. The second reason that I think about S&OP and think about it in the monthly process versus a real-time process is that I have to make those real-time decisions, but where and how do I provide the operating parameters for those decisions to be made? How are we setting and aligning the organization around the decisions that they have to make on a day-to-day basis? How are we setting priorities? How are we deciding, which customers might be getting orders in an allocation situation? And so S&OP is about setting those operating parameters within which we want the organization to make those day-to-day decisions. And really we're trying to set kind of the buffers that are necessary for us to be able to manage without having crisis decisions that have to be made on a day-to-day basis. So it's really about this idea of setting operating parameters, and you want to do that at the family level. The final reason I think S&OP really needs to be a monthly process is it is really a step back from the fray. It's to take you out of the day-to-day and give you a chance to manage the business, to step back, look at what's happened, what were the assumptions that we made to put a plan together about what we think was going to happen, and then to reevaluate those assumptions or check those assumptions as we put the plan together going forward. So step back from the day-to-day and really manage the business. Ultimately, you can think of this kind of like a huddle in football. That's American or Canadian football in my case, where the team runs a play, it either happens the way we want it to and we get a successful outcome, whether that's a gain of yards or a touchdown, or it doesn't. And we actually run the play, we step back into the huddle, and the team gets together. They look at what happened, what do we need to adjust compared to what our opponents did, and then we redo the plan and we re-execute in the next play. And so the S&OP process is very similar to that huddle. So just to sum that up, there's really 3 reasons that I think about S&OP as a monthly process, and they're really all wrapped around this idea that it is a management process. The first is we're always dealing with that inelasticity of supply. The second, it's about setting the operating parameters for the business so that you can make those day-to-day decisions. And finally, thinking about this as the way that how do we learn as an organization? We step back from the fray, look at our assumptions, and learn as we go through. Hopefully that answers your question on why I see S&OP as a monthly process versus a real-time process. Thank you for watching. Thanks for watching today's video. Subscribe to our channel for more on implementing S&OP. You can learn more about how DBM can take your process to the next level by visiting our website, www.dbmsys.com. Thank you and take care.